The Early Birds, Episode 2.
So I've invited someone to join Early Birds.
You've what?
Well, I know new members are supposed to be voted in, but this was a spur-of-the-moment decision. Sissy, why are you staring at me like that? Are you angry?
Well, I'm too shocked to be angry. You've never taken the slightest bit of interest when I've mentioned attracting new members to the club. In fact, you've been firmly against it. Why the change of heart? Did your doctor alter your medication recently?
Well, I've shown an interest. Have you forgotten the quiz I set up, specifically for luring in fresh, bright minds?
Oh, I remember only too clearly. You wrote all the questions yourself, and they were so obscure that only one person managed to get a correct answer. Me. And that was only because I've unwittingly absorbed some of your nonsense via osmosis over the last couple of decades.
It wasn't my fault that no one in this town has good taste.
One of the questions was, name all the members of Pink Floyd.
Harry likes Pink Floyd.
Harry?
The someone I was telling you about.
Oh, so that's why you like him.
Here's your orange juice, Sissy. Are you sure you don't want anything else?
Unfortunately, yes. Thank you, Bren.
Oh, for heaven's sake, order a pan of chocolate, you daft woman. You're as thin as a stick and always have been. And I'm sick of the way you keep eyeing up my breakfast.
I'm not eyeing up your breakfast.
Yes, you are. You're practically drooling.
You disgusting old windbag. I do no such thing.
Ah, here it is. Harry, over here. You're late.
Technically, I can't be late, seeing as I didn't know what time to arrive.
Well, that's no excuse. You're still late whether you're aware of it or not.
Hey, wait a moment. I never even agreed to join your club. I'm just here because of a bet for my sister.
Oh, stop this nonsense, Jasper. Harry, you're not the slightest bit late. Please, take a seat.
Hi, Harry. What will it be?
Black coffee, as strong as you can make it, please.
Jasper.
My eyelids feel like
What?
2 iron curtains this morning.
Let me introduce myself, seeing as Jasper won't do it for me. My name's Cecilia Weathers, but everyone calls me Sissy. I'm the chairman of these meetings.
Pleasure to meet you. So, what are these meetings actually about?
Has Jasper not told you?
As I said, it was a spur-of-the-moment decision.
Well, young man, let me enlighten you. The Early Birds was set up by my good friend and Jasper's wife, Marion, who has since passed on, dear soul. I must say I was surprised that Jasper told you about us, because these meetings are meant to be top secret.
Intriguing.
Well, it hasn't been particularly difficult to stay secret, seeing as no one but us seems to go for coffee at this time of morning.
Really? You amaze me. Why do you have to be a secret?
Because what we do is, well, illegal.
Illegal?
Yes. Oh, we don't sell drugs or anything like that. But if the authorities figured out who we are, we could be faced with quite serious fines at the very least. Possibly even jail.
Figured out who you are? Why? What is it that you do?
We trespass onto council-owned land, like the park, the playground, the grass verges, the roundabouts, and we plant them up with flowers, shrubs, hanging baskets. We work in the very early hours of the morning, you see, under the cover of darkness, so that no one can identify us.
Flowers? You're breaking the law by planting flowers.
I know, she made it sound more exciting than it is.
Oi, it's still exciting. After the amount of times we've trespassed on land and vandalised it by digging up earth in order to plant stuff, we could be in serious trouble. And don't forget that time we accidentally punctured a water pipe whilst digging. We had to ring the police and leave before they arrived.
Now that was exciting.
But surely the authorities wouldn't mind you planting flowers around the place that much. I mean, it's not exactly disruptive.
Well, you'd be surprised. Things are supposed to be done a certain way, and if you don't apply to the council and wait ages and ages for them to consent to you interfering with their land, However small and insignificant the land may be, you're breaking the law.
So why don't you just wait ages and ages for their consent?
Because it would take ages and ages.
And they'd probably say no to our more adventurous planting schemes anyway.
We once planted an entire apple orchard on a patch of greenbelt land, you know.
Well, only little ones, of course, but they had enough blossom to make it for a very pretty sight.
The council tried to take them out, but the local citizens were so thrilled with it that they petitioned for the orchard to stay.
You mean to say that that little orchard beside the playground, the one that's constantly full of screaming children clambering up the trunks and munching on apples, was planted by you?
Yes, 15 years ago that was. Isn't it wonderful?
Yeah, my apartment is adjacent to that orchard. Because of you, I wake up every weekend to the blood-curdling screeches of 6-year-olds.
Oh, sorry.
Never mind. There's just something about the sound small children make.
Like a pack of screaming capuchin monkeys.
Precisely.
You know, I'm starting to see why you and Jasper hit it off. Jasper only joined because he couldn't bear the thought of Marion doing something without him.
Huh?
There's 4 of us in total, 5, including you, Harry. There's Edith, who's our youngest member. She's just out of university. Clever little thing. She studied law and politics, you know. She should be here by now. It's unlike her to be late. Edith took her grandmother's place in the club a couple of years ago, when the poor old dear's dementia worsened and she could no longer come. She takes a lot on herself, does that girl. She single-handedly cared for her grandmother since her father died. And then there's Michael.
Michael isn't really a proper member, though.
Well, that's an awful thing to say. Of course he's a member. It's true, I suppose, that he's never been officially accepted as a member, but he's been at every Early Birds meeting since he came to town 4 years ago. If that doesn't grant him membership, I don't know what will.
Well, for one thing, he could try and stay awake through them.
It's only natural he should be tired. Michael works a night shift at the industrial estate. He works for that ready-made meals place.
And that's another thing. He always stinks of garlic from that dreadful place.
I apologise for this old grump, Harry. Believe it or not, he is actually very fond of Michael. We all are.
I'm sure.
Anyway, we view ourselves as town benefactors, and we take our role very seriously.
Michael doesn't. Oh, hello, Michael.
Hi. Sorry I'm late.
Your usual nightcap, Mike?
Please.
Brent doesn't serve alcohol here in the normal way, but he keeps a bottle of whiskey aside for Michael, who always likes a little snifter before bed. It's a little secret of ours.
The secret's safe with me.
Oh God, I'm so sorry everyone. I really am. I don't know where my head has been this morning. I managed to sort out the roses that we need though, and Derek has promised that he'll have the planters ready by... Who are you?
Harry, I'm a temporary new member.
Temporary?
Yes, I'm getting up early for another 6 days to please my sister, and then it's back to Lions for me.
Oh.
Okay, I thought taking on new members was something we all had to agree on.
Well, so did I. It's Jasper's doing. Harry seems a nice enough lad, though. You won't tell anyone, will you?
The secret's safe with me.
Well, welcome aboard, I suppose. Now to work. Michael? Oh, Michael, you haven't fallen asleep already, have you?
Huh? What were you saying?
We've only got 2 more days to prepare. I really need you awake for this.
What happens in 2 days?
You'd be forgiven for thinking Armageddon by a sense of urgency.
Ha ha, very funny.
Every 15th of April, Early Birds organises a particularly big flower display somewhere within the town. The position changes every year, so we don't get caught. You must have heard of it. The local newspaper always does an article about it every year.
No? Mind you, I don't really read newspapers. So, why the 15th of April?
That's the anniversary of Marion founding the Early Birds.
Aha. Forgive me if this sounds rude, but I don't quite understand why you go to all this much trouble, just to plant a few flowers.
If you don't understand, then why are you here?
I'm just here for the coffee and the croissants. And anyway, I don't even know what early birds consisted of.
Well, if you're going to stick around, you'll have to respect our traditions.
Traditions and I don't normally see eye to eye. I tend to view them as humanity's failure to embrace the inevitability of change.
I like this young man.
Listen, Mr.
Queen. Although you can call me Harry.
Mr. Queen. If you don't like what we do, the door is right there.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cause offence. I just have a habit of speaking my mind, that's all.
In future, maybe you should check if people mind you speaking your mind.
Good one.
That was not a pun.
Oh.
Edith, you look nice this morning. I mean, not that you don't always look nice. Can I get you anything?
Tea. Milk, no sugar. Now, are we going to get on with this meeting or aren't we?
So Harry Queen has joined a society. Not just any society, but one that's called Early Birds. Oh, it couldn't be more perfect.
It's only for a week.
But you can't just walk out on them when the 7 days are up, Shirley.
Watch me.
I thought you said you were enjoying it.
But I never said that. I said they're interesting. For the most of the meeting, I feel like a scientist analysing specimens of a different species. Well, except for Jasper. We're early birds of a feather. Yeah.
Ah,
Why do I get the feeling you're about to tell me something about myself?
you're thinking of writing a book about them, aren't you?
BT, they're a group of old dears who organise flower arrangements. Even the young one, fresh out of university, acts like she's middle-aged.
You're thinking about it, though, aren't you?
The thought hadn't even crossed my mind.
Yeah, but it has now, though.
Starring Thomas Jennings as Harry, Roger Kay as Jasper, Tracy Rea as Sissy, Hermione Rutherford as Edith, Scott Groves as Michael, Philip Jennings as Bren, and Alice Jennings as Beatty. Join us next time for episode 3 of The Early Birds.